Oilers sending Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, and a second-round pick to Pittsburgh in the Tristan Jarry trade. Sam Poulin is also heading to Edmonton as a part of this Penguins trade. And what's interesting is Puckpedia's got the salary breakdown. So Jarry has is in year 3 of a 5-year deal at $5.375. Poulin is in year 2 of a $7.75 deal in the AHL.
Former first-round pick.
Oh yeah, in 2019?
2019, he's big, he's a winger, really good AHL numbers, but AHL numbers are not NHL numbers.
Skinner for the Oilers in year 3 of a $2.6 million per year deal. Kulak in year 4 of a $2.75 million deal, both expiring, and a 29 second round pick. That's right, a 2029 second round pick. According to them, the net cap added is $850K if you exclude Poulin in the AHL. And by the way, as a part of this, because the Oilers traded a defenseman away, they also traded a 3rd round pick in 2027 to the Nashville Predators for Spencer Stastney, who you
call the Preds every day, man.
Yeah,
call them
honestly,
every day.
Getting a useful NHL defenseman for a 3rd round pick a couple of years from now is pretty sweet.
A useful 25-year-old NHL defenseman who, when his contract expires, will be a restricted free agent for a 3rd round pick 2 years from now. When is best case scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Preds make that pick and they nail it. When's he a Pred? When's he in the lineup?
2030, 2031.
What are they doing? What are they doing? I hate that for the Preds, and I know, Preds 6-3 in their last 9. We can maybe talk about that, but that's just, I hate that move. Obviously, the Oilers have the most to gain here if Jarry is the best version of Jarry. I really like that move for the Penguins.
Well, I should have started the show with, how does Kyle Dubas keep getting away with this? Because Kyle Dubas was able to move Tristan Jarry, a player who last year, I've kept notes, allowed the first goal on the first shot in 6 of 22 games before being waived and sent down to the AHL.
That's insane.
He could have been had for free. This guy was unplayable, and 6 months later, the Pittsburgh Penguins turned him into Brett Kulak and Stuart Skinner on expiring contracts. There's 2 more years left in Jarry's deal, expiring contracts.
There's a greater than 0% chance Skinner ends up performing better than Jarry. I would put the odds on Jarry being better, but it's greater than 0, man. It's definitely greater than 0. I think they need help on defense. We were just talking about it a couple days ago on the show, to get Brett Kulak, who's not having the greatest time, but if he returns to form, that'd be great for them. And you get a pick. So all this money is sent out the door.
You freed up cap space for next summer.
You get present. You get futures. I'm not sure what I don't like about this if I'm a Penguin. The only thing, you could argue it decreases their chances of winning now, which...
You could argue it, but Shilov is the starter now.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
you listen. So here, Jesse, here's my question to you. After today, which goaltending tandem do you take? Artur Shilov and Stuart Skinner, or Tristan Jarry and Calvin Pickard?
I want the one in Pittsburgh. This was an absolute fleecing by Kyle Dubas. I don't understand why Edmonton thinks Tristan Jarry is their guy when he's locked up for a long term and he's been average to very good throughout his entire career. This is a guy who's 30, who was waived a couple of times, as you guys
very
mentioned.
Good or very bad? Average to very good, you think? Or?
Average to good, he's been throughout his entire career.
Right.
That, you know what you are getting in Tristan Jarry. And with Stuart Skinner, you kind of had the same thing, except now you're flipping salaries for a lot more for a couple more years. Like, I don't understand why Edmonton chose Jarry as their person. I would much rather be in the Penguins situation where you have the flexibility on the cap coming off of this offseason when Stuart Skinner's a free agent. You could walk away and do whatever. And then you also have a good goalie in Shilovs. Like, yeah, man. I think the Penguins are coming away looking really good here.
Don't let Dubas get into the weeds. Like, I find the fewer pieces involved in a trade, the more likely he is to lose that trade handily.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
The more complicated the deal is, like, that's all him. Stan Bowman's not like, yeah, let's make this fucking weird. Like Dubas is like, no, okay. And working out all the money and everything. There is absolutely a chance Jarry plays the best hockey of his career. He goes back to being an all-star. That was the thing he was, legitimately. And who knows, maybe they win the cup. But in this moment, I really like it for Pittsburgh.
It is an interesting move for the Oilers in the sense that, as well, Stuart Skinner has won 7 playoff rounds. Tristan Jarry has won 0.
So, you know how Jarry's playoff reputation is diabolical? Like, it's completely awful. I thought he had choked on like 3 or 4 different series for the Penguins. He's completed like 1.
Yeah. But still.
For them.
Still.
Yeah. No, Jarry's problem has been not getting the Penguins to the playoffs.
So, guys, is this obviously it was clear that Stuart Skinner needed a change of scenery. They needed to make a change there. Everybody I thought that they'd keep Skinner because he's on the last year of a deal. And whoever they were bringing in would platoon with him. Take the pressure off Stuart Skinner. Is this I don't want to call it a panic move, but is this a move of desperation because there aren't a lot of goalies available?
Not a panic move, but like if this trade doesn't work out, if this trade doesn't make the Penguins better, there's other upside to it. There's money off the books, expiring money, there's futures, great. If Jarry doesn't make the Oilers better, it's a failure. Beginning, middle, end. Right? That's it. Unless Poulin is friggin' unreal, which I suppose it's possible, right? He's got really good AHL numbers. I wonder if he gets an opportunity in their lineup. I have no idea. But if this doesn't make the Oilers better now, they lost. They lost the deal.
And that's a lot of pressure. Jesse?
Stan Bowman provided comment on the trade. He said, I think it's not so much a comment on Stuart Skinner. It's really maybe time for something different here. But I think we wanted to make sure that the person we were bringing in felt confident. And then he went on to say, we've done a lot of work on this position. Obviously, it gets a lot of attention. Tristan's had a really consistent performance as a pro up until last season. So certainly that's something we looked into and wanted to see how he started this year. We've watched him very closely and have been impressed with his performance over the course of his career. I think he's shown to be a very solid goaltender. And then lastly, he said, we certainly weren't trying to trade Brett Kulak. He's a great person and a great player on our team. We're going to miss him. But in order to make the transaction work and the money going back and forth, that had to be part of it. Those are Stan Bowman's comments today on the trades.
No one's giving you a for sure goalie.
Well, no, you can't get one.
No, the best you can do is get a maybe goalie. And that's what Jarry is.
What did you guys think the NHL headline of this article would be? They got a little pun on their homepage for this.
Jarry's an Oiler now.
A Jarry morning. A jarring morning?
You guys are way off. Think Oilers.
Oil change.
Ladies and gentlemen, pull it up.
Please don't be oil change. That's the name of the show. Are you serious? That's the name of the show from like the 2010s.
Bang! I don't think I've ever got one.
I don't think you've ever nailed it
you
flat
nailed
out
it.
without a couple hints. That's a good one.
Wow.
Merry Christmas!
Wow.
That
One and all.
For long-time listeners, we've been playing that game for
10 years?
Probably less than that, maybe like 6, 7. But like we've been playing, sorry, no, that's 7, 8 years we've been playing that. And Steve just nailed it. Oil change. NHL headline.
Wow.
I'm gonna ride that the rest of the day. The Leafs won last night.
Remember the oil change
I'm
TV show?
retconning it to
No,
they
I don't
won.
know what you're talking about.
You've never heard of the oil change TV show where
No.
they made it like either it was online or it was on like
It was on like Oil TV or something.
yeah, and it was about like how they were rebuilding, but it was like pre Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
So it was like,
But they sucked.
man, let's talk about let's do a deep dive on Nile Yakupov. Like it was great. It was
that's
People
nice,
out of
but
Jordan
I think they're doing a play on the oil changing, like changing the oil in the car. I think that's probably what they're referencing and not this weird show you guys are talking about.
hey.
If I ran the NHL website, I would make them all so annoying. Like
But
my
they
headline,
are.
my headline would be Penguin change.
Oh, like that annoying.
Just why not? penguin change makes no sense whatsoever. I'm having a great time. What do you guys want to talk about?
One of my questions to Stan Bowman would be, if you thought this highly of Tristan Jarry, why did you not collect him when he was available to you for free for zero assets?
Well, they were capped out, Jess. Probably. That's probably why. But I also want to say that I agree with you, and I think the thing that really puts a punctuation point on what you just said is the fact that 6 months ago in April, he said flatly, no, we don't need a goalie. Mm-hmm. And even then, Jesse, we knew that they did.
Skinner had an .896 last season with a 26-18-4 record, which, like, I don't know. It's not that bad. And we know how bad the Oilers started, and he improved. Like, what I'm going to say is I don't think this was as desperate a need last year as it is this year. It's not as obvious a need, especially
the Oilers goaltending situation.
Now wait. Because Skinner... People forget
the thing we've been talking about for 4 years.
I've been on that bandwagon this whole time, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. Skinner in the 2024 Stanley Cup final run was spectacular. In the games where he was spectacular, in the games where he wasn't, he was awful. Mm-hmm. Back half of the series, remember that narrative? Well, all that's gone away, right? Like, there was reason to believe in him, and now I'm just... there wasn't more reason to believe in him in Edmonton. Maybe he finds his game in Pittsburgh. He wasn't going to find it there.
There's a lot of revisionist history.
It is. I'm trying to make sense of a move that I think the Oilers lost.
Yeah, I think Stan Bowman got pushed enough that he finally did it, and he saw a goalie available that he wanted, and he went out and got it. I think that's the long and the short of it. And they sat on this for so long that he finally was like, okay, it's untenable. But he should have realized it was untenable before that.
I wholeheartedly agree.
If they... because there's proof of concept with Stuart Skinner here. There's no doubting that. They went to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals. He is a goalie that's good enough to get you there.
Right.
In that run, you also had to have a goalie in Pickard pick him up throughout the playoffs because he got benched because he was so bad.
Yeah.
So that's what you had to go with. So you know what you had in there. And before that, you should have realized this isn't the best way to get there. And maybe if you had made the decision earlier, one of those finals could have run a different way. But like, he's finally come to the realization that I think everybody else has kind of come to a long time ago.
Yes. I wonder how hard the Oilers tried to keep Skinner and move Pickard for an improvement, which that's something I've been on.
But who's
months.
Taking that?
Well, this is the problem, right?
Like, no disrespect to Cal Pickard, he's come in and played some really key playoff moments for them in the last couple of drives to the finals. But who's taking that?
Well, as long as we're doing revisionist history, like Brandon Bussey, I assume was a free agent.
I think he was on waivers.
Yeah, like there are.
Hey, you could have had Askarov for a first.
You could have had a lot of different adequate goalies and just friggin' tried them. Mm-hmm. And like the only thing you can come up with is Connor Ingram, and he might never play a game for your team.
Yep. Yeah. And Adam's favorite quote about Stan Bowman not wanting to address the need of goaltending, that is him with all of those options that have come through the last couple of years, refusing to take any of them.
Right.
Because he didn't think it was a need.
Well, and now you have that quote out there forever. And you ended up doing it anyway. So, yeah, he doesn't look great today. The only way he looks great is if Jarry is great. That's it.
And that we have to acknowledge that there's a real upside for the Oilers here. If he continues the play that we've seen in Pittsburgh, he's a definite upgrade on Stuart Skinner's play. Mm-hmm. And he can solidify, if he's healthy and if he's locked in, he could solidify this lineup. Like, you look at the. I hate doing this, but let's make it about the Leafs for a second here. Isn't it hilarious how the Leafs record instantly improved once their goaltending improved?
Yeah.
Isn't it hilarious how their penalty kill, which was devastatingly bad, 2 players changed, Joseph Woll and Scott Laughton, and all of a sudden, oh my God, they're amongst the best penalty killers in the league.
And if I can make it about the Oilers for a second, Troy Stecher.
Troy Stecher.
He's been a revelation.
He's been amazing.
Can you imagine if Ekman Larson goes down like he did last night and they don't have Stetcher?
But I guess the point I'm
they
trying
don't
to
have a
make
lineup.
The point I'm trying to make here is that with Edmonton, they've got enough that a good goalie and a league average goalie is going to propel them to as far as they want to go.
I do like one thing that they did today. Like, I think the Spencer Stastney trade makes absolutely no sense for Nashville.
No, I think it saved the Oilers' day. It's a great trade.
I think if you try to improve, if Edmonton tries to improve their goaltending without doing anything to their defense, it's not a waste of time, but it's a huge missed opportunity because that ain't good either, right? They need help back there. And when I saw Kulak was going to Pittsburgh, I'm like, does that really? I don't think that makes you better back there, even though he's struggling. I see they get Spencer Stastney for pennies on the dollar, who's like a depth defenseman, but really good underlying numbers on a team that is not really good. Been really good recently, probably because of Spencer Stastney. That's revisionist. I think that was a tidy bit of business for the Oilers. So they addressed two needs today. But it's a massive risk.
Yeah, I've been one of the bigger Stuart Skinner defenders for this season in particular, because watching Edmonton Oilers games, you notice how poor they are in their own end and how a lot of the mistakes they make lead directly to goals. And of course, a lot of the times you'd like a couple saves in those situations, but they're consistently leaving their goaltender out to dry game in and game out. And that needs to be an improvement as much as Jarry coming in there and playing well. They also just need to play better defense. And hopefully this is a step in doing that. But they need to overhaul what they're looking at in their entire defensive core in terms of their system they're running out there. Everybody's sticking to it.
I'm fascinated by how both locker rooms receive this news, because Skinner is obviously like deeply woven into the Oilers and they defend him at every turn and have had to do so on the mic a lot. Think of the Penguins season this year. And it's been a little up, it's been a little down, but ultimately it's been better than we've thought. Sergei Murashov has played 4 games for them. He's won 1-1. Artur Silovs has played 13 games for them. He's 4-4-5. Tristan Jarry's played 14 games for them. He's 9-3-1.
That could be a game changer for the Oilers.
Like, we're talking about the difference between a team that might make the playoffs and a team that's flirting with the lottery. Skinner's got to win games for them. I don't think this is a great outcome for... I think Pittsburgh did well in this deal, but I don't think it's a great outcome for them if Skinner comes in and he stinks. Because then we just go right back to the Crosby stuff.
Well, I think if he comes in, plays 15 games and is good, the time frame between now and the deadline, I don't think you guys realize how close the deadline is. Remember that we're subtracting a month.
It's fewer games.
We are literally right now 2 months from the deadline, 2 playing months away from the deadline. We are
20, 25 games from the deadline.
So if Stuart Skinner is good and Brett Kulak is adequate or good, you've got 2 deadline assets you can move right away.
Oh, that's such a good Kyle Dubas point. Imagine the Oilers end up needing a goalie.
The one thing, listen,
they can go get Stuart Skinner.
Guys, I'm hard on Kyle Dubas on this show. I am. But one thing I have never, ever veered from is he's great at trading. I don't...
Generally, with a couple stinkers.
With the exception of Kadri's trade, I think.
That was horrible.
He's great at it. And I think this is the way Kyle Dubas thinks. He's in how many assets can I amass? And if you can, let's say you flip Stuart Skinner, who has 10 good games for the Penguins between now and then. And by the way, 10 good games means it might still mean that the Penguins are falling out of the Metropolitan. Maybe they're in it, but maybe they're falling out of it. You flip them. What if you grab another third?
Right.
What if Kulak gets you, who's a defenseman, third pair defenseman? What do they go at the deadline?
Too much.
Way too much. Seconds or thirds?
I mean, Spencer Stastney just got a third.
Just now.
A 25-year-old.
You're telling me...
I don't understand that. You're telling me Nashville. I don't.
You're telling me that playoff teams wouldn't want a guy that's been to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals in Brett Kulak? You're telling me that playoff teams wouldn't want a potential platoon option in Stuart Skinner, who's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals in a row as the starter? Yes, he had some minor hiccups where he had to be pulled out and Calvin Pickard had to be put in. But like, yeah, well, I don't know, man. I like that. I think that's good asset management right there.
I mean, Braden Holtby had one of the best Stanley Cup runs for any goalie in recent memory. He didn't start that run. It was Philip Grubauer.
Neither did Bobrovsky.
Right. Yeah. Like, my God, I forgot about that. It was Alex Lyon. And then Bob is like, I'm a first ballot.
I don't know if you guys know that.
Let me just do that for 3 straight years. I'm first ballot. After being an up and down goalie for basically my whole career, I'm first ballot all the way.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. My head is spinning.
Mm-hmm. Think about what Pittsburgh can do here. They can make the playoffs or they can sell at the deadline. Either option works.
Shout out to Nashville, even though it was bad, Edmonton and Pittsburgh. Turns out you can trade. Isn't that nuts?
You need a party to be desperate enough.
Yeah, but remember 2 weeks ago when it was impossible?
Mm-hmm. Well, that was 2 weeks ago. This is today.
Oh, well, wow.
Oh, wow, exactly.
Oh, wow.
I mean, listen, we all saw it last year. I mean, we all remember Colorado rearranged their goaltending before Christmas. First team to ever do it.
Yeah. Oh, so it's not impossible.
No, it's not. Now,
what are you upset at?
No, I hate the narrative like when the Leafs were last in the East, right? Oh, well, teams just don't make trades now. Okay, why?
Now,
why?
Couple of wrinkles in the schedule I thought you guys would like. Tristan Jarry's first appearance in an Edmonton Oilers jersey could be against the Toronto Maple Leafs this Saturday night.
Of course.
But he also may sit on the bench. They let Cal Pickard, who was a former Leaf, start. And he might start his first game Tuesday against the
Pittsburgh
Penguins.
Oh, yeah! That's awesome!
Or he's either Hockey Night in Canada or he's playing his old team. I don't know what you choose, but I think it's pretty cool.
I don't know. Well,
Skinner versus Pickard has got to be the lineup Tuesday, right?
At the end of the day, you're expected to be the new starting goalie for a team expected to contend for the Stanley Cup. Let's see how you do in pressure situations. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, I think it's cool.
Damn.
Yeah, that's fun.
Damn.
I'm excited.
I'm really about to stream a Tristan Jarry shutout.
Yeah,
that's
you
crazy.
You might
That's
be.
so cool.
You might be. Yeah, it really, really interesting. Lots of facets to this trade. You know, it's been interesting online. I don't know how Oilers fans who are not chronically online are feeling about this, but I have seen the reactions to this trade and they've been overwhelmingly negative, which tells me Tristan Jarry is going to come in and fire up the entire city and be incredible. It's just the way it is.
Edmonton.
From Edmonton. There's been a lot of negative, and I get it. I get the doubts in this, but I feel like as soon as that happens, it's hockey. So therefore, the hockey gods are like, actually, you're wrong again. And he's going to be incredible.
Comes from, like, this is not a mundane trade.
This is, I mean, we have not mentioned it, but you make this trade with the Connor McDavid thing hanging over you.
Oh, with everything hanging over you. The Oilers, as we know it, hinge on this deal, frankly. The odds, the risk involved with this deal is astronomical, and the possibility of it being catastrophic are very real. Very, very real. You might win a cup. You know, this is the problem with Tristan Jarry. You just don't know. You have no idea. He could go a 9-20 the rest of the way, and they win the division and they make the playoffs and they go on a great run. Who knows? But if he's not what you had hoped for, now you're stuck with a guy who costs like 2 Stuart Skinners for the next 2 seasons after this one for the duration of the McDavid deal. Oof.
Okay, so I want to get your prediction.
That's my biggest hang up with the trade is that 5.3 for next season and the year after. You gave Kyle Dubas a giant life raft to clear $10.6 million off the cap in the next 2 seasons, which is an incredible amount of room to play with now that he has. And then you've taken that on yourself for a goalie who is a question mark because of how he played last season. And they're the Edmonton Oilers. Like, they're probably come day one of the playoffs, my pick to like come out of the West and get back to the Stanley Cup final, and who knows what they do.
No,
but
Jesse, this is the year the Kings take them.
it's still such a risk to take on that amount of salary.
Well, okay, so this is what I want to ask you guys, all right? So I just want to know, and to the end of the season, what is your prediction? This is completely unfair, but we all have to do it.
Damn.
We're going to revisit it.
No.
Is this trade for Edmonton? Let's forget Pittsburgh. For Edmonton, is this trade a thumbs up or a thumbs down come mid-April when the playoffs start? I think it's April 18th it starts. Jesse and Steve, do you think we'll look back on this going, wow, that really worked out? Or is it, wow, they really blew it, and what are they going to do now?
Against my better judgment, I'm going to say thumbs up.
Why against your better judgment? Explain your answer.
Because there's just unbelievable risk involved. There's future, there's present, there's financial implications. But all season, for a different team, I've been an advocate for do something. Even if there's a risk of it making you worse.
Right.
The Oilers could not continue with the tandem they had. And, you know, I talked about guys like Bussy or whatever, like all of that is spilt milk. Jarry was the option you had. Jarry better be the option that gets you through, because otherwise it's Stan Bowman's job.
Jesse, would you think we'll look back on this in April as a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Yeah, come April, it'll be a thumbs up. I think no matter what, because they'll be second or first or third in the Pacific Division, and everything will be fine because they'll be a good regular season team. It'll be a matter of what they do after that in the playoffs and how they go out with Connor McDavid. So this will be a thumbs up come April, but that's not where you judge this trade. It's how you do in the playoffs.
It's
right,
May,
and
right?
they'll be good. Like I think we can all agree they'll be a very good regular season team and finish 1 through 3 somewhere in the Pacific, and it'll be fine. It's just like, does Jarry hold up in the playoffs?
The rules don't apply to the Oilers, right? Like, we're all giving them the Oilers bump.
Yeah, well, the rule is they're a good team, right? The
Right.
baseline is they're going to be in the playoffs in one of the top half of the Western Conference seeds, and they'll be fine. And then when you get into the playoffs, is can Connor McDavid will them to a championship kind of thing.
Yeah. It's so funny that, like, I want to say like a month or two ago, I was like, is Zach Hyman the straw that stirs the drink? Half jokingly. And then he comes back and he's like, yes.
He's a great X factor for them, for sure.
Hey, I know a team that could use a guy like that.
Oh,
Hey, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up as well. I actually think, as much as I think in terms of, like, if you were to say trade to trade, I do think Pittsburgh made out better than Edmonton did, specifically offloading that Jarry contract.
both teams might benefit.
I do think Edmonton's going to benefit from this, and Jesse nailed it. It only matters in April, May, and June, but come the end of the season, I can't wait for that Kings-Oilers matchup, because I feel like it's going to happen.
Oh my God.
I feel like we're headed straight towards it.